Hey everyone, this is Chef, and in this video, we're going to cover everything you need to know to play support Firebrand for the first time in a world versus world group. That includes basic profession mechanics, build options, synergies, rotations and skill combos, and your role in an organized squad. Each of these sections is time-stamped, so if you'd like to skip to the specific topics that you're interested in, go right ahead. Support Firebrand is a mainstay of the world versus world meta, and was the only viable choice for a primary support profession for the first decade or so of the game mode, going all the way back to Core Guard. While Chronomancer is also available to fill that role now, the versatility and flexibility of Firebrand ensures that it will always be a viable option for generating defensive boons and mitigating incoming damage in a squad. Firebrand's unique specialization mechanic is its tomes, which replace your weapon skills with 15 new abilities, 5 for each of your 3 virtues. Tome of Justice, your F1, is an offensive tome, though it does have access to a pull and a blast finisher. Tome of Resolve, your F2, is for healing and condition cleanse on allies. And Tome of Courage, your F3, is for defensive boon uptime and damage mitigation. Using skills from your tomes cost you pages, which you regenerate at a rate of 1 page every 8 seconds. Beginning with our gear, we'll be using the Minstrel prefix. Minstrel is the de facto choice for supports in World vs. World, as it gives you healing power and concentration to support your allies, while also giving you vitality and toughness to be as tanky as possible. For our weapons, we'll be using Spear and Mace Shield, though you may also want to keep a main hand axe on you if you're comfortable with switching your build based on who's in your party, and we'll talk about when you may want to do that when we get to our traits. On your weapons, you use a Sigil of Concentration and a Sigil of Energy on both to maximize your boon uptime and survivability. On your armor, you'll use Runes of the Water for better boon uptime and some incidental healing, and for your relic, you'll use Relic of Phoebe for swiftness uptime and targeted condition cleanses on your heal. For our utility skills, we take Mantra of Solace, Stand Your Ground, Hallowed Ground, Sanctuary, and Mantra of Liberation. Mantra of Solace is your heal skill, giving Aegis to allies on use and triggering your Relic of Phoebe. Stand Your Ground is your primary stability cooldown, giving 5 stacks to help avoid incoming crowd control effects. Hallowed Ground is one of your secondary stability cooldowns, placing a field on the ground that pulses stability to players inside of it. Sanctuary places a dome on the ground that blocks projectiles and enemy players from passing through it, removing stacks of stability if they try to do so. And Mantra of Liberation is a party-wide stun break that also provides a small amount of stability on normal charges, and a large amount on the last charge. You usually want to avoid using your last charges on either of your Mantra skills, letting them get their charges back naturally instead. But if the stability off of the last charge is necessary, you may need to use this one in emergencies to make sure that your party survives. For our traits, we take Honor 1, 2, 3, Virtues 3, 2, 3, and Firebrand 2, 2, 1. Our Honor minor traits improve our dodge-related abilities, with Vigorous Precision giving us vigor at the end of a dodge roll, and Selfless Daring healing allies when we dodge. Purity of Body also provides faster endurance regeneration when Virtue 2 is off cooldown, letting us dodge more often. In our major traits, we take Invigorated Bulwark, giving us extended boon duration while a mace is equipped, reduced cooldown on mace skills, and increased healing to allies when blocking attacks with Aegis, which mace and shield both generate. Pure of Heart further improves our Aegis, healing allies when attacks are blocked, and Force of Will further improves our healing as a percentage of our vitality, plus gives increased healing to allies. In Virtues, our minor trait Virtue of Resolution adds resolution to each of our tome activations, and Power of the Virtuous reduces the recharge time on the active effect of our tomes. Inspired Virtue then adds a boon to each of our tomes when activated, giving Might to Justice, Regen to Resolve, and Protection to Courage. Our major trait Master of Consecrations increases the duration of our Hallowed Ground, giving more stability to allies, and Indomitable Courage adds 3 stacks of stability to the activation of Tome of Courage, giving us another major stability cooldown to use for our allies. We also add an active effect to our Resolve tome with Absolute Resolve, which removes 3 conditions from allies, as well as improves the passive healing effect of this tome over time. Finally, in Firebrand, our minor trait Swift Scholar adds quickness to each of our tome activations, and also refunds a page if we use 3 skills consecutively from the same tome. Imbued Haste then improves our healing power and vitality when affected by quickness, while in our major traits, Liberator's Vow and Stalwart Speed both give us additional sources of party quickness on our heal skill use, as well as any time we grant Aegis or stability on an internal cooldown. And Stoic Demeanor provides might and resistance to allies when we disable, immobilize, or slow an enemy, which we can do using Shield 5, Justice 3, Courage 2, and Sanctuary. This build assumes that you as a Firebrand are responsible for quickness uptime in your party with these traits. But if that's not the case, maybe because you have a Chronomancer or a Spectre in your party, you can instead run Firebrand 111 and use a main hand axe instead of a main hand mace. This gives you a daze on your Axe 2 ability, which can trigger Stoic Demeanor along with the pull on Axe 3, and it also gives you a slow and a page refund on the last charge of your mantras, giving better boon uptime in your tomes and an extra Stoic Demeanor trigger. So if there's no quickness in your party, stick to Mace and Firebrand 221 as your default build, but if you're comfortable making build changes on the fly based on your party composition, Firebrand 111 using Axe Shield is a more offensively minded Firebrand if somebody else is maintaining quickness uptime. Moving on to rotations and skill combos, support professions in World vs. World tend to use smaller 2 and 3 skill combos, rather than a larger overarching rotation, and Firebrand is no different. Your role in a squad is both a proactive support, providing boons to allies before they become necessary, as well as a reactive support, responding to incoming damage with condition clears and healing. Knowing which skills to use at which times depends on paying attention to what's going on in a fight, so keep an eye on your party UI in the top left corner of your screen to see what you need to provide. Starting with proactive support combos, Stand Your Ground is your main stability cooldown, and you want to use it whenever your group is preparing to push an enemy to avoid disruptive crowd control effects, or whenever your current stability is missing or about to expire. Your other main stability cooldown is Indomitable Courage, the effect that you get for opening your Tome of Courage. After opening your tome, use your Courage 5 skill to apply an extra stack of stability and apply bonus toughness to allies. Then use Courage 4 to cover this application with pulsing resistance, and finally use Courage 1 to further bury the stability with swiftness and protection. The skill combo also earns you a refunded page from Swift Scholar, since it uses 3 tome abilities consecutively. Boons in World vs. World are removed in the reverse order that they were applied, with the most recent boons also being the first ones removed by incoming enemy strips. So follow up any use of your big stability cooldowns with a charge of your heal mantra to protect the application of that stability and make sure it isn't immediately removed. You can also use your weapon skills to apply cover boons. Mace 3 and Shield 4 bury your stability under Aegis, while Spear 5 followed by Spear 3 buries stability under Pulsing Resistance, Might, and Fury. Your final stability cooldown is Hallowed Ground, and Hallowed is a bit different. Because Hallowed pulses stability, rather than applies it all at once, it's constantly moving your stability to the front of the boon queue, meaning that it can't be buried with cover boons effectively. Instead, you want to make sure that you aren't overlapping Hallowed with other sources of stability, or this will undo all of your work trying to cover your stability applications and pull it to the front of the queue. Hallowed is best saved for when your group is going to be staying in the same place for a while, and is going to need a lot of stability to stay there. This could be when you're trying to cleave downs in melee, or standing on a wall or near a ledge to kill siege in a keep or tower. Finally, your Elite Mantra of Liberation also has stability attached to it, but these charges are best saved for when players in your squad need a stun break, so keep an eye out for people lagging behind in the tail, or stuck in an enemy group spike during a fight, and use these charges to help them get back to your tag. The single stack of stability associated with your Elite Mantra isn't enough to make sure that your party survives in the middle of a fight. While boons are your primary job on Firebrand, you also have access to strong condition clears and healing utility that you can use in a pinch to react to incoming damage in your party. Your Spear 4 skill, Solar Storm, is a pulsing heal and condition clear, with more of both if it's illuminated first. So you want to try and use it either after using Spear 5, Symbol of Luminance, or after any other spear skill to get this benefit. Your Shield 5 ability is also a light field, and while you can't blast it yourself as it channels, you can generate the field for other players in your squad to blast instead. You can also end this channel early for a burst of healing, along with using your Mace 2 or just dodging on people to heal them more. Opening your Tome of Resolve clears 3 conditions, so if you need burst condition clears, you can open Tome of Resolve and then immediately close it to trigger this effect. But if your party is under a lot of Condi pressure and you have 5 pages available, you can use Resolve 5 to convert 5 conditions to boons at once, Resolve 2 to clear an additional 2 conditions, and then use Resolve 3 to top up your party's health and get a refunded page thanks to Swift Scholar. While Firebrand isn't a primary condition cleanser, it does have some of the best condition cleanse in the game if you need to remove lots of conditions at once, so keep an eye on your party UI to make sure that these skills are necessary. The final part of Firebrand's utility is its access to offensive crowd control abilities, especially since these also grant resistance to your party thanks to Stoic Demeanor. The points in a fight between when your party has stability and you don't actively need to use your condition clears or healing are great opportunities to try and crowd control enemy players to get a bit of extra resistance for your party and give damaged players in your squad the ability to apply damage more effectively. Using Sanctuary or Shield 5 in melee is a good way to interrupt and remove stability from enemies that have nowhere else to go, and for the greatest effect, try to cast these skills slightly to the side of where your group spike is. Sanctuary and Shield 5 will both knock back players with no stability, so if you Sanctuary inside of your group's spike, you may accidentally knock players out of your squad's damage. Your pull ability on Justice 3 can help to clump players together during a fight or pull them off of walls, while the taunt ability of Courage 2 has the added effect of triggering Stoic Demeanor regardless of whether it hits stability or not. The stability that you apply off of Stand Your Ground and Indomitable Courage lasts for almost 12 seconds, and you want to try not to overlap these applications with one another to keep your stability uptime high overall. So there's plenty of time in the middle of a fight to look for opportunities to go on the offensive while you wait to react to incoming damage or conditions. In the following clip, try and watch for when I'm switching between proactive support, reactive support, and offensive utility skill roles as the fight goes on.
Left side now, 3, 2, 1, pushing up left. Stabbing, pulling, 3, 2, 1, pulling.
Pulling.
Be fair, good. Moving. Going. Excellent. Peel back now, peel back, roll back, just run. I want to turn, I'm going to push up on right side now, 3, 2, 1, pushing right. I'm going to well, 3, 2, 1, well, do not push it all the way, just hit the toe. Cleaver, cruncher. Good takedowns. We're going to push up on left side now, 3, 2, 1, pushing up left. And then a shot here, 3, 2, 1, shot here. And big ranger. Alright, turn me down, feet. I'm going to come to our spawn now, 3, 2, 1, towards our spawn, throw banners. Towards our spawn, throw, yep. Alright, just keep on hitting her, good. Just grind. Trying to great wall, great firewall, grind. Stand him in the square, pushing up, 3, 2, 1, push on him now, set on him. There you go.
Good boy, Blake.
My.
Did you say good boy?
Yeah? Say that again.
Firebrand is a strong and versatile primary support, and its flexibility makes it very easy to build a squad composition around. A secondary source of quickness, like from a Spectre, enables Firebrands to use a more offensive build that maximizes resistance uptime and crowd control with main hand axe, but Firebrand is also capable of generating quickness itself, making the long cast times of other abilities like Warrior's Battle Standard or Druid's Spirit of Nature easier to manage and use in a fight. Spear 3 helps to maintain Might and Fury uptime, taking the load off of DPS professions that struggle with offensive boon generation like Hollowsmith, while the Aegis uptime and bonus toughness from Courage 5 help mitigate the low health and fragility of progressions like Dragon Hunter. That said, the stability and resistance uptime of Firebrand is slightly lower than for its direct competitor, Support Chronomancer, so some extra defensive boon uptime from other professions like Revenants with Inspiring Reinforcement, or even double stability parties with both Firebrand and Chronomancer can help to cover these limitations of the profession. Anyway, that's all I've got for you on Support Firebrand. If you're looking for a support profession that's relatively easy to pick up and play, but also has a fairly high skill ceiling and a lot of trait and weapon skill interactions, this is a profession that you might enjoy. If you have any questions or comments about this build, why not let me know in the comments section? And if you enjoy these videos, consider giving it a thumbs up or subscribing to the channel. I also stream Guild Wars 2 every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday on Twitch if you wanted to ask questions in real time over there. But until then, I've been Chef, and enjoy the rest of your day.